Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your public land advocate and DIY hunter, Professor Mick, back at you with actually the first video that I want to make about something I made. I made my first duck blind. I've been working on a duck boat project since about April because where I live in Oklahoma, there's a lot of lakes that you can get on and duck hunt out of, and sometimes in late season the weather gets too bad for us to use kayaks. So I found a 14-foot semi-V hull boat and trailer with a breakneck on it, which is awesome, for a good price, and decided to move on that. Then it became a fishing rig with the intent of it being a duck hunt rig, and for under 800 bucks, not including the motor. Yeah, I think it's exactly what I wanted it to be. So I want to show it to you guys what I made and how I made it and what I used. So I made what I call a roll-up blind, or a blind that I can roll up into a tight package, put in the car, take it down, and whatnot. That way, just in case something happens on the highway, wind gets underneath what could be laid on top, it doesn't blow it away, which was my biggest fear with making an A-frame blind. So here we've got the blind that covers the motor. Shout out to the Honda 99. Pushes this little boat like nobody's business. We have a 2-inch piece of PVC pipe right here that's painted with a couple holes drilled into it. And then we have camo netting in wetland. And then we've got just some like cheap Rafa grass and some Arctis ghillie string to cover it so it doesn't have hard edges. And beneath that, we have 2 into PVC tubes, 3/4 inch to 1 inch dowel rods. And this actually just sits up here on these, and these sit down in these PVC holders. And then from the 2-inch PVC pipe, we've got the Rig'em Right Magnum decoy line. If you guys don't have this, I'm not sponsored by them in any way. It's my first video. The 300-foot Magnum decoy line, you can do pretty much anything you want duck hunting with this. So I've got a knot tied here. It runs the entire length of the boat to a 1.5-inch piece of PVC pipe to create a smaller profile, which is right here, again wrapped up. But to make it so that it's sturdy, I used a 90 degree with the same type of dowel rod as the back, and that's on each side, so you can see that. And it just runs down into the rod holders I've got, and then some of the extra Rafa grass and ghillie string I just kind of put on here. Now on one side we have our natural wetland camo wrapped to the front of the boat. As you can see, we've got lights and everything that you would need, and this part can go in the boat while you're running, so it's pretty simple. And then we've got some greener camo on the other side, because if it's early season, you face the boat one way, still be camoed up. It's later in the season, you face the boat the other way, and all they see on the inside is where you're sitting while you're taking care of it. So I also decided to paint the inside of the boat. Still need to paint the gas tank cover for the motor. But yeah, the blind basically just rolls up, and you can pack it in your car, truck, whatever, set it up on your boat, unroll it at the boat ramp, and it goes real simple, real smooth. And for 50 bucks worth of supplies and material, including the purchase of the camo netting, thanks Amazon, I know Jeff Bezos won't sponsor this in any way, you have yourself a DIY boat blind that you can take with you anywhere. So I hope you guys like that. I'll let you know how it goes during the season. Season here doesn't open until November 11th. So I got some time to perfect my up and down and my roll up with it. Other than that, make sure you stay hunting public land. If we don't use it, we will lose it. And make sure that you take somebody hunting with you. It's more fun when you get to hang out with another person and show them the joys of public land. If we're not showing people how nice and good public land can be, then when it comes time for the ballot box, people will vote our public land away, and we won't be able to use it. And that's true in the state of Oklahoma, whereas people trashed some Oklahoma Land Access, or OLAP, land. We actually lost 500 parcels of OLAP land this year for farmers not renewing it because the people who are using it aren't taking care of it, and the people who aren't using it but are paying for it, the taxpayers, still have access to it, but they see that it gets trashed. They support their friends and family who lease to OLAP, and the next thing you know, those of us who want to use the outdoors are struggling to find places. And we're getting put into public land that's getting smaller and smaller and less taken care of. And we have to be the ones to do something about it. We have to be the public land advocates, because hunter numbers are coming close to what they were for the peak in the United States in the 90s. But public land since 2000 has decreased 90% by protected federal land for people to use in the outdoors, such as hunting, fishing, camping, hiking. No matter what your outdoor activity is, we are all in this together, and only we can shape our future at the ballot box so that the public land that we know and we love gets protected. Just like we might advocate for gun rights or for rights to do other things, we have to advocate for our rights to public land. And if we're not speaking up, the businesses most certainly are. The landowners around public land most certainly are. And they're the ones that benefit when we lose public land. By the way, that's land that all of us paid for with our taxes, that people are allowed to make money off of, and we don't ever see a cent of that. So we need to take care of our public land. We need to hunt and fish and hike and recreation on our public land, which most of the public land in Oklahoma, you can do that in some way, shape, or form. And we need to be happy that people are out there. And when people are out there and they're destroying it, we need to advocate for them to clean it up, or we need to clean it up and go the extra mile, because eventually it will be no more if businesses and landowners and the Senate and the Congress of every state have their say, because those people pay them a lot more money than we do. We need to make sure that we're doing our best in order to protect public land. We should all be public land advocates. We should all be public land protectors, because we all get to enjoy those resources. Not just the guy who duck hunts, not just the girl who deer hunts, not just the trans person who goes for a hike twice a year, not just for the person who goes bird watching, not just for the person who decides that they want to spend a night camping, not just for the family that takes their kids and lets them play in the water, not just for the retired guys with boats and deer stands. It's for everyone. And it's a resource that is rapidly running away. It's up to us to fix it. Be your public land advocate. Be the one that roots for public land to make a comeback, and do more DIY stuff. Hunting is getting ever more expensive. Fishing is getting ever more expensive. So learn how to do something. Take a risk. Make your own duck blind. Make your own tree stand, but make sure you do it safely. Go for a hike. Create your own hiking stick. Create your own tent out of a tarp. Do something fun and experience public land and love public land just like I do. And we will have a more fulfilling connection with Earth and with the place that we all use every single day. And it will help us. Stay your best advocates, y'all.